Are you sick of drama? These are two things to stop doing immediately.
One is stay out of other people's business.
Yes, please. Other people's business is not your business. You
Nope.
don't want that in your vibration. You don't want that in your atmosphere. That could be exactly the thing that's fucking up where all your stuff is. Your manifestations don't work when you are in other people's business. You're wondering why your life isn't more peaceful. And yeah, all the things that you are wanting are on the other side of other people's business.
But some people like being in other people's business. So how do you handle that?
Well, the main reason people are in people's business. So if you're a person that like you're telling your sister's story and your friend's story and all this stuff. I'm not saying don't update your friends and family, but only if it has something to do with you. You're telling your story. You're not saying here's the latest gossip and oh my god, did you hear? Like
Yeah, I never sat in those
please
tables.
please don't do that. That is when if somebody asks you directly because they want to get into the drama, you say, that's not my story to tell. Maybe you
Yep.
should go ask them. That'd be cool. And change the subject.
Exactly.
But the reason why, so when people are engaged in other people's stories, it's simply because they're lonely. The main thing they're looking for is some sort of connection. And they're not feeling it in their own space. They're not feeling their own peace. So they're looking for something either to distract them from their own shit, or they're just looking for, like, oh, if I get up in this friend's business and then they need my help, so then I have to go do these 5 things. So then I have other reasons to contact them because now I have information for them, or I need to check in and see how they're doing. Like, it's this consistent, like, being able to feed your need of connection. So check yourself if you notice yourself talking about other people's problems all the time. Can you redirect yourself back to your own shit? Or are you just feeling lonely? And if you are, what are you going to do about that? Like, are
Because
you,
it isn't getting involved in other people's stuff.
it's not feeding it, or you wouldn't keep having to do it all the time. It's giving you maybe temporary band-aids to an entire flood of stuff that you need to take care of internally.
Yes.
And also, when you sit with people, can you just listen without judgment? Do you have to why do you have to jump into the pool with them? You do not.
No.
I mean, maybe they just need to get it out. You don't need to stop other people from telling you their story. See the difference there? They can tell you their story. You can call it their drama or it's their story.
Right.
Just look at it just purely as a witness, purely as support. It is not you recording data in your head so you can go out and tell the other friend what this friend what happened with them and what they did.
That creates drama and gossip.
And that creates a low vibration, and that creates not a very person who's centered in strong values and a higher vibration that's going to manifest things.
Yeah.
So the second thing, stop being
A fixer.
a fixer. Now, I am a recovering fixer, so I get this one deeply. So maybe if you're not the being up in other people's business, telling other people's story type, you're the fixer type. They could merge, though, because sometimes fixers like to tell everybody else, well, this person had this problem, and I, the lovely ego I, because I am so important, I did all these things for them to help them fix their problem. And God damn it, they didn't do any of them. But it's not your shit to fix. Right. So a fixer, if somebody directly asks you for help, asks you for advice, jump on in.
Right.
If you have something of value to give. If you don't know your ass from your elbow on whatever the topic is, like if they're asking you relationship advice and you know that yours is shit, or you know that you haven't had a good one in a long time, don't give them advice. They're in their own little spiral. You don't need them to be in yours too. Like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it doesn't get you any place and doesn't get them any place. So if you're the fixer type, just kind of check that in all situations in your life so that you're not finding yourself right smack in the middle of other people's business.
Right.
Because if that's not your place, that's not your place. So always consistently check yourself that you're not doing either one of those things.
Yeah, check
You
your
know,
motives of why
yeah,
you're trying to fix somebody else.
you
I
know,
mean, if it's just because you love them, you have to let them do you. You have to
yeah,
let people like hit their rock bottom. You have to let people get in a space where they're ready to make change. And you offering a solution to somebody that's not ready, it's not going to happen. That whole like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't get them to drink. Like you're
exactly.
wasting your energy, you're wasting your time. And then the universe is like, "Oh, their focus is back in that other person or is who are having relationship issues and job issues and all these other things. So, oh, maybe they want relationship issues and job issues because
Yeah,
or maybe they don't want their current nice relationship or nice job because they're all up and needing to be in where there's job drama. Okay. And then you're like, universe, I'm trying to do all these nice things for people. Why is my stuff going to hell? Because that's where
that's
you're
the
focused.
martyr syndrome.
Totally the martyr syndrome.
Totally the martyr syndrome, because you have to be all in like other people's stuff and doing this and doing that, when if no one is asking you to do it, step back. you know it's I'm sure you've got a lot of your own shit to take care of.
That's what. So there's three different types of people that are fixers. One is you're trying to distract yourself from your own shit. So you're up in everybody else's so you don't have to fully put all of your attention in how to fix you. Because honestly, everybody else's shit is not the reason for your unrest. The reason is you not paying attention to your unrest and pointing the fingers outward that it's because of all these other people, that you can't be okay because all these people around you are not. Like that you can be perfectly the calm in the center of the storm if you practice and you want to be. The second reason is you're seeking some sort of validation. Do you have some sort of you need people to need you, some sort of not enoughness in you that you need to be like, oh, good job that you helped them. Oh, I'm so glad that, you gave them that therapist number, even though they didn't say they wanted a therapist. Like, like, stop. You're basically disrespecting other people's boundaries, even if they're not saying it. Their boundary, if they're not asking for advice, is I don't want advice. I'm just talking to you. Or you're just asking me questions. I'm not even bringing my shit to you. Like, stay out of it. But they're not going to tell you that because we're all conditioned to, like, pussyfoot around everything.
Right.
And not put up those boundaries. But if somebody's not asking you, just stay out of it. So are you distracting yourself from your own shit? Or are you seeking some sort of validation? Again, goes back to that you need connection. Or you just need some sort of self-importance so you can feel better about yourself because in general, inside you don't feel good. Or the third thing is you're truly a compassionate, wise soul that just wants everybody to be okay. The problem there is, again, checking your motives, because if it's just that you want to serve and help as many people as possible because you feel really good and you want them to feel good too, because that's where, once I tweaked all my other stuff, that's where I sat. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't I help people if I see that I can make a difference? That is a one-way road to exhaustion and burnout. And overwhelm. Those three things. And you don't want those. So you need to back off and you need to put yourself in a position. Like right now, I help people if they reach out to me. And I'm in a position to do it. I have a really good, strong no. Fixers need good, strong no's.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't impose any of my helpfulness if it's not needed or not asked. Mostly, I'm all about, I reach out and I say if I know something's going on, I reach out, see where they're at, and leave it on the table as saying, if you need anything, let me know, and let it be. Because that person has the right and needs the space to be able to deal with what they need to deal with. So, you imposing yourself on that can be more of a stressor than being helpful.
And no dramatic people look for fixers because they're the perfect thing. Because you want to stir drama. You're going to like, oh, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night? And leave it a total open question so they can try to corner you into whatever they need from you. So that's when you're like, why would he need? What's going on? What's up? Why do you ask that? Throw the question right back at them until you get more information, so you know when you can say a strong hell yes or a strong hell no.
Right.
Like, don't end up being used. And don't, if you fix everybody else's shit or try to, they're not learning themselves, so they're going to cycle through the pattern again. And then they're just going to call you again. And they never learn and they never grow. So you're blocking their growth. And none of us want to do that if we're in a deep, soulful, compassionate place.
Exactly.
So please, please, please stay out of other people's business. Please, please, please stop being a fixer and look at all the reasons why you are. Check your motives.
Yep.
And take care of you. Period. That's the bottom line. That's how you stay out of drama. You take care of your own. End. Peace.
Peace.